Check. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta press buttons until it works. How's everybody? How's the music to voice ratio? I'm good, man. It's been a stressful few days, but this should be a fun build. Music loud, got it. It's like blasting in my ears, so. I Abdallah 9, welcome. Sorry if the cam's shaky. So I'm doing a different setup today and trying it out. So I'm actually, the desk I'm usually at is back there. But I have a lot of long cables. So if things are not perfect, I apologize. My head's a little cut off, but we're working through it. So, but yeah, we're building the J80 today. This is a buddy of mine's board. If he shows up, I'm not going to say who it is unless he shows up and outs himself, but real quick, shout out to our sponsors, Dixie. You can go to mexondeck.dixiemech.com to pick up GMK Terra last few days. And then GMK Dual Shot next month. And then you can go to switchmod.net/mexondeck, and that will get you 4% off. 4% off all lube, springs, stickers, all that stuff. And then lastly, you can go to Zap Cables, get yourself some cool custom cable. And he's also got desk mats and stuff there and DIY cables. So, and then for any winners, I've got some of the stuff shipped out, but I could not get to DHL today to get the international winners because UPS told me it was going to be like $130. And I was like, cool, I'm going to try somewhere else before I spend a bunch of money on shipping. So, but yeah, let's get into it. So here's the new setup. Where is it? There we go. So today I'll show the switches off first. Red inks, not my personal favorite, but they are PCB mounted, which is a good thing because, let me make sure I open this correctly. So, whoop, opening it up upside down. This is the J80. So we're going to have a fun time soldering because this is a plateless build. Alright, so this has a soldered on cable, so it's kind of supposed to go off of a kind of like a retro. So once you solder this bad boy on, it's in there. So hold on real quick. I'm just going to switch to be right back for just a second, sorry. My apologies. No mic. My bad. So you can gently being made that be right back screen. So, but if you can see here, it's actually a lot more cream than white. I would definitely call this like off-white. You can kind of tell more up on the face cam. So, but first thing I'm going to do is get the bump-ons on. And then I don't really know if the best option is to solder the switches first or the cable. My guess is that the cable would be the best one. And then I will go back over the case in more detail. I just don't really like doing anything until the bump-ons are on. Vintage white. So yeah, looks like a Cerakote would be my best guess. Overall, really well done. I'm not going to say perfect, but close to it. This is pretty cool. They have like, I guess, little like stickers, so you can put things, your custom, whatever you want, over it. I am not going to mess with this unless the person I'm building it for wants me to put one on, but I figured he probably wants to see it first, so I'm just going to set that aside. But yeah, overall, case looks pretty awesome. And then the USB goes through there. So it's the actual cable just kind of sets in there. So Zombamon, welcome. I actually didn't welcome people, but Chris Thomp, Drifting Bunnies, Okamol Sucks, Janky Render, Metal Chuck, Osiris, Partner in Crime, Existentially Yours, Geo, Doyne Hanley, I don't know, Blind Assassin. Welcome, welcome to the stream. A little Saturday afternoon stream. And then the back finish is really well done as well. So, Jeezy Payne, welcome. First and foremost, we'll do stabs. Because it is going to be guessing was a part of group buy not obtainable anymore. I do not believe these are obtainable anymore, if you are asking about this. PCB looks really nice. No Alp support, which I'm okay with because this is not a you know, I don't know how Alps and platelets really go, but the holes look nice, the pads look nice, traces look nice. Overall, looks like a solid board. see. So I believe these are the EPBT stabs. I know they had a little bit of criticism due to them potentially being knockoffs or made from the same ones or rebranded Zeals, but seemed like that kind of died out. I don't know. I don't know if there was ever really a way to prove it. I mean, they look the exact same. Although they kind of don't. The backs are different. You don't really need to clip these. Yeah, it is a bit of it's a thick PCB. But typically when you're making a PCB this big, it does need to be a little bit thicker to prevent from warping, and then this one needs to be even double thick because there's no plate. Oh, and I just kicked the camera. I'm sorry. So we are going to get started. We got shift, backspace, enter, shift, space. All right. So I'm going to mute myself real quick. So. All right, I'm back. So I am lubing the stabs with 205 grade 0. Going to be doing kind of a light, like a very light amount. These switches are very light, so I don't want to cause a lot of resistance. While I am someone that typically likes to lube my switches or lube my stabs pretty heavily, that is because I have heavier springs, so it can withstand, but these springs, I don't actually remember the spring weight, but I know it's pretty freaking light. I want to say it's like actuating weight is 55 grams or something like that. Someone remind me of red inks. Other than that, how are you guys doing, man? How are y'all's day and weekend, holiday weekend for the American folk? Strange pictures, 60 gram bottom out for red eggs, thank you. Lots of pictures of food for the non-American folk. And did you guys get any Black Friday shopping done? Because I did a little bit. No, I have rent. Yeah, it happens. One thing a lot of people don't get on Black Friday, which I actually picked up a few things, is you can get a lot of like things you wouldn't think of. Like most people immediately say Black Friday, oh, TVs. Like that's the big one. Just TVs and computer parts, video games. But like cables, so like USB cables. Like I got a few because they were cheap. It was like $3 for some Type-C cables. And my phone uses Type-C, my keyboards use Type-C, my Nintendo Switch uses Type-C. Zeal stabs on drop for $29. I picked up some extra Zelios on Zeal. They were $8.50 instead of $10. Making Zycos that much cheaper. Because I got some good news. I found out that for those who are in here who got in on it, the Baca 60, do you have to wait on drop shipping? Most likely, yeah. But my board, the Baca 60, will be here Wednesday. Yeah, I'm excited, Metal Chuck. If it's here in time and I can get everything like unpacked at least in a way to where I can put a board together, then I will show it off on stream Wednesday. But if not, then I might stream next weekend and just open some of them up, show them off, show off the raw, show off the gray. And then these are not immediately set in stone, but if I had to pick, obviously I'd have to talk with Osiris about this, but if I had to pick 2 weeks from today, if everything works out, I will be building my Baca. Because I'm putting Zycos in it. I have to get the switches. The Zeals are the only thing I need at this moment. But what I was thinking about doing is doing a lube and build stream. So lube the switches, extra long stream, build the Baca. Which honestly, building the Baca will not take that long because of a few things. One, it's a fixed plate. So I'm not going to have to worry about spacing. And the only issue I would see that I would run into is ruining some Zycos, but I should be fine. I am curious to see how these stabs turn out. So, for those curious why I was going back and forth and being muted and unmuted, a small, kind of big, kind of small deal. I was visiting my parents very briefly this afternoon. They asked me to come over and help move some stuff. And I got a call from my wife, Doodle Bob or Oily Josh, whichever one. Usually we call her Doodle Bob. that she had sliced her arm open. Which stabs are these? These are the EPBT stabs. So, but yeah, she sliced her arm open. And it was, we got it butterflied closed, like the little butterfly band-aids. That paused to answer the question exactly. I'm actually getting, hold on. Hey! Howie! I got Amazon packages at my door, apparently. Sorry, my wife usually also helps calm the dogs down, but they're freaking out because she's gone. So she, how? So we were talking, and I mean, she's fine. She's not like, I mean, she says it hurts, and it stopped bleeding after about 8 to 10 minutes, which, for those who know some basic first aid, I mean, that's not good, but it's not bad. You know, it did bleed a good bit, but she didn't lose like a substantial amount of blood. But it was able to stop bleeding, which is good. It's a clean cut. It was on a bowl that had broken. I looked at it, and it's pretty rough. We butterflied it, and then we were trying to decide if we needed to go and go to Care Now, because the ER would have cost like $3,000. The ER would have put us. We'd be fighting that all of next year, trying to get that paid off. Because, yay, American healthcare system. But anyway, not to talk about politics. But she was like, hey, like, I could just drive. It's fine. And so she is off to Care Now. She left just a few minutes ago. And I told her to let me know. If for whatever reason, randomly, I look at my phone and say, gotta go, my apologies. As I am, you know, I'm not worried about like her safety of not being able to like stay conscious, because it happened about an hour and a half ago. But if they have to do something where they have to like, you know, operate on her, and they say, hey, you shouldn't operate a vehicle, I will have to cut the stream short, and I'll probably just build the rest of it tomorrow. But thoughts and prayers. Get on our Discord. Join our Discord. Tag at OilyJosh or at DoodleBob. Show her some love. Show her some support. So it has just been that, and some other things has just added up to a stressful couple of days. Not Geo, thank you. So typically I go with the dunk method on wires, but once again, lighter spring weight means I have to lube just enough to keep it smooth, but not enough to slow down any actuation. or reset for that matter, because the reset is what I'd be most worried about. Let me know if you need help anyway. Yeah, I will. I will keep you updated. Like I said, I am not super concerned. It is not. It's deep enough to obviously cause concern, but it is not deep enough to where I am panicking. Because, I mean, truth be told, with the discussion of do I just cancel the stream happened, because I think people would understand. We have been keeping it clean. We've been making sure to keep it real clean. I gauzed it up and just taped it off so that nothing can get through. Or not nothing, but minimal interference. And keeping, she's been walking around with her arm on her head the whole day. Or not whole day, but the whole time. Yeah, stitches. I mean, in reality, what sucks is it looks a lot worse. But yeah, it's just stitches to keep it shut. Because we could, I mean, in theory, we could butterfly it, but if you butterflied it, you run the risk of it popping out, and you run the risk of every time you have to change them out at least once a day, if not twice a day. And so you having to screw with it, you just run the risk, and it would take a lot longer to heal. But my big concern really was getting her to a spot to where instead of they may very well just glue it, which would be the best, because that would be super cheap. Well, not cheap, but cheaper than stitches. But get her stable enough and it not bleeding to where we can avoid the ER, because ERs can be a hassle. They can be expensive for no reason. And we actually went to the ER once, and the ER told her, "You're fine. Your eye." She hurt her eye, and she was like, "Something's wrong. Something's wrong." We go to the ER. They give her this eye drop that numbs it. They look at it and go, "No, it's fine. It looks like maybe just a tiny little scratch." And we go back, and she's like, "Nothing's, like, I promise you, this is terrible." And we go to the eye doctor later that day, and the eye doctor's like, "Yeah, you really screwed up your eye." And she had actually splashed hot milk in her eye. She used to work at Starbucks like 5 years ago. And she splashed hot milk in her eye, and basically it burned the entire outer layer of her eyeball. And so we got hit with a $700 ER bill for them to tell us you're not hurt, even though she definitely was. And yes, she does hurt her eye quite frequently. It's been a while, but she's burned her eye, and then she scratched her eye really bad one time as well. It is weird. It's a little political talk, but I try to avoid it, but I think most people in the world are okay with most. You're not going to get a lot of pushback for people going, "I would like to, if I got injured, not have to pay anything for it." I think most people are on board with that statement. It's not a lot of fighting, but yeah, just gas, dude. So no music. I will fix that in a minute. That's I mean, it is not that simple. Trust me, I'm aware, but that is why I don't want to get too far into it. Because it is definitely a much more intense topic and a way more complicated topic. Let's get some different music going. What lube you using? 205 grade 0. 205 grade 0 for the stabs. I don't actually know what they are lubed with the switches wise. I'll have to get back to you. I can PM him, or if he or she, although it is a he, spoilers. I believe was in chat at least for a minute, so. But 205 grade 0 for the stabs. I have made the switch, and it will be a minute before I go back. Or try something different, but. So are you guys working on any boards this weekend? And of course, Howie! Also, my dog, if one of us leaves, every 5 minutes, he thinks that person is gone or is coming back. So he just gets very excited and borks a lot. Making an acrylic case for your Prionic. Nice. Want to try and purchase a Think 6.5. I'll post some pictures of that acrylic Prionic in the Discord. If you are curious, I am just trying to get these stabilizers in, and it's just easier for me to do it close to my face. King Chris, I will when I get back to my parents' house. Nice. What you think of the 6.5? A good board. What are you asking? What I think of a 6.5? Yes. So I think so. I've tried. I honestly don't remember if I tried an acrylic one or a aluminum one, but I did try an acrylic. They sound great, and if you like that layout, then by all means, I think it's a great board. But at the end of the day, it is a 65%, and that is something of a layout that I am not a fan of. So sounded great though. No, 65. There it is. Hello, Beyblade, Beyblade. Okay, first time watching, just want to let you know that I've ported J80 to QMK. I will let the person that this is for know. I hope the PCB works. Like, I'll test it before I start soldering. Actually, I guess that would be one reason of soldering the cable first. And welcome, OEW. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Mechs on Deck. So build streams, typically we do solo, but we have a weekly episode of just talking about keyboards between Osiris and myself. That comes out on Tuesdays. And then we interview community guest members. Be sure to join the Discord and subscribe, yes. Community members on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Twitch. And then our streaming, we're kind of trying to find a good... like Tuesday nights are usually our stream nights for builds. I just wanted to get this done while I was on break for the holiday, so... So since you're here, do you think it's a good idea to solder the cable first? Because I have not used this PCB. Or even a PCB like this. It's a cool cable though, very retro looking. Cable first? That's what I thought. I am going to get this going. And give me just a moment. I'm going to grab, I got to get my solder because I always forget at least one thing. And moving my whole setup over here has definitely caused me to remember that I'm forgetting like 9 different things. And then I am going to grab some cable strippers so that I can get the top part of this off and get it soldered on correctly. Mind me though, so I'm gonna have to. Did you put the wire through the hole then solder it in, or did you kind of like surface mount solder it? While you answer that, I'm going to grab a few things. Some through holes, some surface mounted. Okay. Remind me, I don't have the. I have to go look at Zap because I'm like just double checking on the cables. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. My apologies for the dog barking. He's just very expressive. Zliggy, welcome to the stream. So what I'm going to do is get a little solder and kind of tend these up just to make it a little bit easier. Meister Grinsepo, hello cutie to you too. Weird angles, yeah. You know, whatever works though, right? All right. Looking to get into another build this season. All right, halfway done. Did he Cerakote it after group buy, or was that part of the group buy option? I actually don't know. I'm going to assume part of the group buy option because when I opened it up, it was still saran wrapped, the same as everything else. So but I honestly don't really even remember this group buy. I'm going to retend this one because it did not take. There we go. If you are into cable making, tinning the actual wires will save you so much time and effort. All right. I would just like to call out the fact that Moon is literally calling me in the middle of a stream. What a mod, right? Gonna test the PCB real quick, see if I did it right, or if I screwed it up. I'm gonna have to restart the stream because I'll wind up shorting something. It appears to work. I would show you what I'm doing, but I realized right before the stream that I actually changed the orientation of my secondary monitor at my computer behind me. So the scene I had previously set up was not for the side orientation. And basically how I set everything up is the monitor I'm looking at right now is a copy of my main monitor behind me. I just ran a DisplayPort cable all the way across, lined it across the side of my room, and then I have a powered USB hooked in to a 6-foot cable, and my microphone hooked into another 6-foot cable. Those are both running to the front of my computer. And the only thing I have to figure out right now is all I have to figure out right now is how to mount a good, not how to, but the PCB works, by the way. Hooray. Yeah, it's a 15-foot DisplayPort cable. How to mount this camera, because this camera, if I punch my desk or move it at all, wobbles just like that. And then I just have to get another mic arm. But this stream was kind of more to see if I could do it. And so far, I haven't had any issues other than forgetting to unmute my mic. But I would just need to buy a few more stands. So, got the cable working. This is going to be a little bit of an annoying build because now that the cable's soldered in, it is stuck there. So, I need to grab some caps to test. Yeah, because this is 6.25. I gotta grab some caps. I will be right back. There are holes in the PCB for a cable strip. Oh, okay. Well, I do not have a cable strip. So I will let the owner of this board deal with that. And just be careful. I should tape it down though. And you know what's funny? I even grabbed tape for that. So I will do that real quick. I'm going to be moving my mic real quick. I'm going to sound a little further away, but I need a little more space to work, as I have also not mastered how I'm going to lay out this desk. And of course, me making even the slightest sound of a knock against anything will cause my dog to think that somebody is trying to murder me in my own home. He is a mighty guard dog. And by mighty, I mean not mighty at all, but he's got the heart of a lion. So all I have to say is thank God this is a plateless build, because if I ever have to deal with a plate as tight as the TX75, I would charge triple, because oh my God. My thumbs, it took 3 days for my thumbs to recover fully. If any of you have ever had to deal with a tight plate like that, you will understand. Stabs feel nice. Sound good, feel good. And that's exactly how they're going to feel, because this is plateless. Really what I'm worried about here is it being sluggish. Because these are such... I will, trust me, I'm going to flip it. Don't worry. Not about that not flip life. And I'd say do anchor switches, but you don't even need to do anchor switches. Just throw them in there. My dog agrees. You can hear him. He's like, hell yeah, no anchor switches. Or he's like, I'm hungry, hurry up. Alright, I can actually move this back to closer range. So, for my Thanksgiving, story time, all the stories, because I'm just placing in switches right now. If you guys don't have Disney Plus, you should get it, because at the end of the day, if you get the year-long subscription, $70 for the year is pretty inexpensive. That's like dirt cheap almost compared to what other subscription services have. But my wife is a known movie hater. It's not that she hates movies like there's anything bad about them. It's just that she doesn't like the time commitment. Which I understand, because sometimes it is kind of funny if you think about, if you just go and go, hey, do you want to watch a movie? Like, that's fine. But if you're like, hey, do you want to go sit on the couch for 2 hours? Like, that's how it can be. What is happening? Somebody locked their car outside. How dare they? But my wife actually sat and watched like 3 The Dog Wants Pets. Now he's mad because all Hondas, docks, we have a Honda. All Hondas, at least the most recent ones, have the same honk in regards to locking your car. And there are like 4 people that all have 2018 and above Hondas. Actually, ours might be a 2017, but regardless, one of those similar, but so all these honks are the exact same, and obviously because Pavlov and all of that. My dog thinks that anytime any of those horns go off, it's my dog. These are in fact red inks. Yes, I do not believe. I think they have been lubed. They feel like they've been lightly lubed. I don't remember what they were lubed with, or if the person ever told me, but flip the entire bottom row. I mean, if it was your board, sure. Flip all of the caps. I like that. That's my favorite so far. Just flip everything except the spacebar, so that it is still a flipped spacebar. Is that the end of our playlist? You like the look of them? I'm not a fan of red. If you really like red, then 100% makes sense. But if you are not a fan of red, which I say here sitting wearing a salmony red shirt, but like this vibrant of red is just not for me. I know a lot of people love the like black and red aesthetic. I am not a fan, but if these were like the same but in green, I'd be like all over them. Like I love the way the blue inks and the yellow inks look. I think they look awesome. Yeah, I don't hate Hamo that much. I wouldn't personally buy it, but I'm not like... Seeing it in person, I liked it more than I did on picture. But the other thing I think, and maybe there's psychology behind this, who knows? My favorite color is green, and the opposite of green is red. And so maybe because of my such deep love of the color green, seeing the opposite of green being red might just disgust me. Who knows? But anyway, so I got my wife to watch a bunch of Disney movies. And we watched Smart House, the Disney Channel original movie. And we watched, we're in the middle of watching 101 Dalmatians. It is an interesting theory, I like to think. If your favorite color is blue, I'm curious how many people, if some people's favorite color is blue, I'm curious to know if they hate orange. What would be the last one? Yellow and purple. Do you hate yellow, Metal Check? Not hate, but just generally dislike. Yep, there it is. Because you love purple so much, yellow is not your favorite. Making some groundbreaking discoveries here. Yellow and green, burn it with fire. Well, sorry, bud, you just lost your mod. Chewy psychologist. Science stream. The school I work at's colors are purple and yellow. I gotta say, this is probably the easiest soldering job and one of the smoothest boards I have ever soldered. My high school colors, my high school uniforms, everything my high school did was Notre Dame. The only non-Notre Dame thing our school is the fact that it was not named Notre Dame and we were not the Fighting Irish, but we might as well have been. What is my job at school? I am a special education teacher. To be more detailed, I support higher functioning kids with certain mental disabilities and physical disabilities and help them with inclusion into classrooms. What are you doing with your baka? Probably typing on it. If I'm being 100% honest. I imagine you were asking what build am I going to do? Do I have a soldering fan? So I do over there. So my old setup, if you can see, is behind me. I had a fan over there. But this is the first time I've done this. That's why like my head's cropped off. So this is a work in progress. I literally got in most of the stuff to finish everything last night, and then this morning it was like go. So I think it looks good. I like the angle. I like the having the camera right here. But I have not gotten everything that I want moved over. I do need to get a little fan, but because my last one, you can actually see it right here. This is my fan behind my cup that I have, actually blowing on me at all times. But during builds, it was just a double down. But I need to get a little desk fan for over here. But I don't know if you hear me or if it's annoying. I just blow on it. Blowing on it works, honestly. It's just, I mean, if you don't want to have to do anything. And keep a little cool. I mean, the iron gets hot. I'm sweating a little bit. I'd open up a window, but it's like 75 degrees outside. I was hoping. I was in Oklahoma this past weekend. Or past week, I should say. Wednesday through Friday morning. And it was like 40 degrees up there. And I was loving it. I love the cold weather. But I really like this playlist. How do I save this playlist? Can I add this entire playlist to something? I don't know. But there's another playlist with the same guy or person or collective. I don't know. Sorry, update from the wife. Hold on. There she is, waiting for stitches. But according to her, she said, the doctor said that they are glad she came in, and I am glad that we were able to get it at least to a point where it was not a trip to the ER, but a more in-between and much cheaper doctor. Just got on. Okay? So she was reaching. We had this bowl that broke, and we have all these. We don't have a kitchen. We have we have a kitchen. We don't have like a dining room. Instead of dining at our dining room, we just eat at our desks. We have a little middle table that you saw on our stream, the 24-hour stream. That's just where we eat dinner. And she was reaching to grab something around the bowl and forgot that bowl was actually broken, and it just clean cut her arm wide open. So we got it to stop bleeding, and it will require stitches, but it will not be... It's not anything like, oh my God, she's going to die. So she was, we talked for a while, because this happened at probably 2, and we talked for a little bit about like, well, do I continue to do the stream? Do I take you to the doctor? And was like, well, we don't need to go to the ER, but let's call and get some pricing on stuff and just figure out where we are to make sure should we go get stitches immediately, or can we, wait a day or whatever. And then we just like, okay, let's get stitches, but let's go to like a care now and they'll get it taken care of. And I told her, I'd be more than happy to. I feel like people would understand if I had to cancel the stream for a medical emergency. But she was a trooper. I said it earlier, but if you weren't here, give her a shout out. Doodle Bob in our Discord. Someone wants to do ! Discord. Anyway, back to Abracadaniel. I am fine, just waiting. There she is. Abracadaniel, my lovely wife. Look at that. Still a trooper. Checking in on the stream, even in the hospital, the doctor's office. Some true Mechs on Deck fan. Oh, good Lord. That is so loud in my ear. Thank you. I have not worked out the levels because these are not the headphones I usually use. I am still trying. Once again, these are not my normal. That's why they don't even fit me really. Like if I put them all the way on, they only kind of sit on top of my ears. I usually use different headphones. But when I was getting everything put together and was like, okay, what do I need from Amazon and blah, 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 I realized that I had just completely forgot about headphones. So here we are. So I think what I'm going to do is get one of those, because I have the ones that I use are a 1/4 inch, and what I probably will wind up doing is just getting one of those USB to 1/4 inch converters, just because that's easy, or just an extender of my 1/4 inch cable to run it along the wall. But I mean, at this moment, the headphones are really the last thing. I could honestly do this without headphones. But I could also, if I got one of those USB extenders, I could, feed it through my back and do some in-ear headphones. So we'll see. Sorry to startle. A 25-foot extender would work. Seeing as how that would work from the middle of my living room to where I'm sitting. Plus, I think the headphone cable's already 6 feet. It's either 5 or 6 feet. For those curious, I use HD 650s typically from Sennheiser. They're awesome. They're very comfortable. That was one thing that I was kind of if you spend good money on headphones, you're going to get a decent pair of headphones. I do not call myself an audiophile. I've got nice speakers because they were cheap when I worked at Guitar Center. And I've got nice headphones. So I do like good quality music, but I do think that there's a big, what's the term? Something returns, whatever. But I think, you can spend a couple $100s and get something really good, but then you need to also think about, like, are these going to be comfortable? They might sound amazing, but are you going to be able, diminishing returns, thank you. Are you going to be able to wear them for 7 hours at a time? You know, or if you game from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., are they going to be comfortable on your head the whole time? And that was something that was really important to me. So that's a big reason why I got those. Because they're real big and they've got really good soft ear cushions. I could care less about wireless versus wired. I'm not going to ever get into a debate about whether or not they sound better or worse than something. Love how your wife isn't a mod. She is on Discord. We only have one, I guess technically 3 Twitch mods. Metal Chuck is on. We haven't really had a mod discussion in a while. But I think the 24-hour stream was like the first or second time only we've ever had to actually, like, mod. And even on the 24-hour stream, there were people in the chat who were like, shut up, go away. Let's see. Keo Board. I like the name. Welcome. Did anyone try the true directional headphones? I guess I did not. I have owned like 4 pairs of headphones in my life. When I first started gaming, I don't even remember the headset I had. I think they were ones I had from, like, owning a PS2. And then I got HD 598s. Keyboard, hello. And I had those for a long time, and then they just weren't as comfortable, and they were, like, falling apart. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll save up for some nicer headphones. So 598s to 650s. Honestly, if something ever went wrong with my 650s, I'd probably just get another set of 650s. I am someone who I enjoy finding what I like and sticking to it. Outside of keyboards, of course, because what's the fun in not constantly getting the next keyboard? But with most things that I like, especially like my mouse, my 403 died. The only reason I got a 703 is because the 403 was more expensive. Because they no longer made it. But it is essentially the exact same mouse. But I found a mouse I liked. We'll just continually buy that exact same one. Found headphones that I liked. We'll get the exact same one. Keyboard's really the only big variance in my life, honestly. What am I missing? I'm just used to being able to pop up and run out of the room at moment's notice for water or something, so if I had wires, I'd knock my stuff off. I guess I've just gotten used to, like, when I get up, because I've had wired for so long, whenever I get up, the first thing I do is just, like, habitually throw my headphones off. So, hold on. get some music, and I'm going to step away for just a moment once I find... Alright, I'm going to see if these guys make anything else, because I'm really liking this music. I might be playing some of the same songs, but I'm really liking this. So the music had stopped, so I was just getting it reset up. But thank you. I am you, are you. So I will be right back. I'm just gonna take a quick restroom break. Alright, I'm back. Should be in the final stretch. Getting this put together. I think I've got one up here and then the bottom row. I don't know if that's too close or not. Curious to know if this, yeah, this is gonna not stay. So I've got these three bottom row. Did I miss any else? Let's see, and I'll double check. So more people are here. What did you guys get for Black Friday? If anything. Did you get anything for Small Business Saturday? Cyber Monday is coming up. Pretty much our entire community runs on internet web purchases. A nice cable from Pexon, nice. To tell a quick story that is not my own story. Our good buddy and IRL friend Rick in the Discord got to go to the TX store in Korea and buy his keyboard in person, which is like something so few people can actually say. Like, I went to a store and bought a custom keyboard. Especially people like Americans, because there's just, I'm sure there are a lot of people going to Korea, but I can't imagine that the overlap of people who are going specifically, or at least able to go to the TX store, could do it. So what is great about plateless, and something you honestly probably just couldn't do if you do PCB mounted switches, basically like Holy Pandas or box switches, it would be almost impossible to do a build like this, because I mean, this is it. This is what you type on. The difference between this and putting it in the board, feel wise, is not going to be a whole lot. So I'm going to test this real quick. Everything works. I'm going to double check to make sure he wanted stepped caps. Okay, stepped it is, my guy. Gonna clean up the area real quick, get the board out, unscrew it, and see what we do. Some giant ass hex screws. Ooh, these are tight. Oh, my arm's in the way. Like I said, we're still working on angles. It's a work in progress. Ah, so this is like a top mount. So what's cool is if you wanted to, so most TKLs will have this, like have keys right here. You can actually, as you can see, sorry, I know my lighting, it got darker outside, so my lighting got worse. You can see you can actually take this out and just solder in 3 more switches. So I'm going to let him deal with that because that is what he said. So let's see. Well, I have discovered a problem. This is a win keyless TKO. I was told standard 10 kilos or 10 key. He said standard 10. Yeah, standard 10 kilos, and I was only given a stab for a 6.25. So I will be right back. I'm gonna have to do some reorganization of the bottom row. Give me a few minutes. It is always the bottom row. Don't remember getting a 7U wire. I'm talking to him now. But I panicked for a quick second, and then I realized this is a plateless build. So, yeah, Osiris. Luckily, it's plateless. So, not a problem. Just have to do a bit of desoldering. As always, if you turn the soldering gun off before you're done, you are dooming yourself. This board was a standard board. And then I turned the soldering iron off. And it suddenly became a win keyless. So we're going to try. I'm going to get these desoldered. Because I believe I only need to do these two over. And this one need to go. Yeah, this one needs to move. So shouldn't be that difficult. Or just tedious at this point. But my last stab, my last spacebar stab, I'm gonna have to pick some more up. That's what I plan on doing, is swapping out the wire. I just have to desolder the bottom row anyway. Mac Jones just threw his second pick six. I don't know who Mac Jones is. I'm going to assume that it's Alabama football. Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for a backup QB going into the Iron Bowl. So for those just tuning in, I made a bit of a critical error. I was speaking with the person this build is for, and they told me they wanted a standard TKL. And I will be 100% honest, because there's no reason in hiding the truth. My mind has been elsewhere today in general, and in the last few days. And so distraction caused me to make a fixable, and thank God very fixable, because it is a plateless build. But a small mistake nonetheless. It is a mistake though. I put a standard kind of anti bottom row when it was supposed to be a wind keyless bottom row. Luckily, that and the only stab I was provided with, not that this is anyone's fault, because I am not blaming anyone, but it did not have a 7U wire to begin with. So red inks do look delicious. Am I still good? Am I sound good? My screen went black for a second. Red inks and black inks are different. The black inks have a heavier spring. Stab's good, except I forgot to screw it in and pulled the whole stab out. Hello, who's this? Philip function. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Although I'm an idiot, because guess what I'm about to do? Make the same freaking mistakes. These are red inks. Don't need these though. I amaze myself with my stupidity. Caught it that time. Yep, these are in fact red inks. Just got word from my wife that she is almost done. Thank God. For those who don't know, my wife has been at the hospital. She cut her arm open. Bad enough to go get stitches, not bad enough ER. So no, I'm not neglecting her. We had a long conversation about whether or not I would continue to do the stream. She did not want me to worry about it and to just do the stream. All right. Now let's see if it actually goes in this time. But I presume, since my wife is telling me that she is almost done, that things are going okay. It's just going for that vintage kind of aesthetic. You know, I don't like it personally. I would not buy this board. This is not my board. And honestly, that would be a big factor. But for people that like that, I completely understand. If that's something that you don't, it's hard to come by. So being able to build a custom version of what is essentially like a vintage style board, I totally get. Just like what Osiris said. Which I am not a big, I could, hot take, I could care less about vintage boards. Not really my cup of tea. But I like, in this is, if this had a standard like Type C mount, I would love this. This would be a really cool looking wind keyless, but it's not, so I'm not going to get it. I got the M0110 because it looked like a vintage board, and I really liked that kind of aesthetic. I'll let you know. They could care less about you. Accurate, they could. I'll let you know when I get the M0110 in. One day, 1 year. And they absolutely could care less about me. And that's okay. just know that your opinion of keyboards, the only opinion that matters is your own. If I'm being honest, I don't even know what the C3 TKL looks like. Mr. Petrov, how are you doing? Got some goo? I totally did. It's one of those days, man. One of those days. You know, for your cable to work at maximum efficiency, you just need to lube it up. You want maximum cable efficiency, dunk that cable in lube. my dog is freaking out. This is a prime ASMR stream now, absolutely. I love the ASMR of my dog barking. Is that the playlist? Damn, let me restart it. Starting it over because I'm almost done. I'll do a quick shout out. So there is a raffle for the J80 on Novel Keys. It's like $5, and it goes to helping support I believe it's a breast cancer foundation. Actually, let me look it up so I don't completely butcher this. So yeah, we had Mike from Novel Keys. Thank you. So if you get $5, enter to win J01 prototype. It's called, let's see, where is it? Up to a limit, of course. To the charity, the Wheatfield, was it? There's at the hospital. The Sue Ryder charity for cancer patients. So definitely a good cause. Go check it out. I still need to throw my $5 in the ring. So if not for the board, do it for the good cause. Because it is a good cause to get behind. Cancer sucks. Fuck cancer. Fuck it. I will curse all day long at cancer. This one there, and all right. What weight? Is a 60-gram bottom out. They are linear. I have never built a non-messed with red ink. I have made red inks and turned them into black inks for a giveaway board. Because I was taking my black inks, but they're just called inks. I was taking my inks and spring swapping them. And for the giveaway board, we voted red inks versus normal inks, and they got normal inks in red housings. So I just took the springs from my personal from my personal build and just popped them in. So I'm missing a screw that I think a screw fell in transportation of going from the table to me, but I will find that once I can get some light on it. Because it still functions. Let's get some caps on it. Zoom out some. So there it is. In its glory. The J80 without caps. Which I will fix that in just a moment. We got through it. This was a self-inflicted tough build. I'm going to tell one of myself. I kind of did it silently. I was just getting very frustrated with myself and didn't want to keep talking about how I messed up. But I had soldered in these three. And then when I was trying to put it in, I was like, why is this raised? And it totally wasn't. It was because I was not doing it correctly. So let's see. I've messed up the stabs. That's like half my fault. Almost put in wind keyless again. Put these in wrong. And dumped this cable and lube. So I'm really selling myself. I'm being a pro keyboard builder. It's been a long day. Got a lot on my mind. What is it? Don't try and bring your home life to work. This doesn't really work. This is also my home life. So I'll just bring my home life to home life. Because it is not fun knowing that my wife is at the hospital. I actually think this would look better with camping on it. I might take some pictures. So, how was everyone's, for the American folk here, how was y'all's Thanksgiving? What'd you eat? Any drama? Who blew up their house trying to deep fry a frozen turkey? We had so I went to, like I said, I went to Norman to visit in-laws. They had a very, very delicious turkey. The turkey was almost perfect. I'd say almost, but I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect in the sense of it was delicious. I don't know how it could have been better. My wife makes amazing mashed potatoes. Garlic mashed potatoes. So I ate no turkey. Turkey overrated. How about you? I actually really like turkey. I like turkey more than I like chicken, if I am being honest. I mean, I don't often eat like fried turkey. That's not like a normal thing that I eat. But like the diversity of turkey more than chicken. I can get behind that. I understand that reasoning 100%. Oh, I'm soaking the spacebar in lube, man. Come on. You don't soak your spacebars overnight? I think we go full pink on this one. Missing F9. Of course I am. Lucky potatoes. The spacebar is correct, my friend. This is GMK Minimal. And yes, Mr. Sleeps. Which we're going to snag our insert, and there it is. My lighting is terrible. My apologies. I'll take some better pictures. Like I said, I did not really set this up for... I'll mess with this. I do wish Mr. Sleep had arrows. But looks good. Let's see how she does. Just first typing impression. Granted, what's the reason behind the spacebar? So if you are a cat, so like in gaming, if you are now, I'm someone who uses their index for normal typing. So if I'm typing, I will actually do this. Just, you know, crucify me, whatever. But in gaming, if you're hitting WASD, your thumb will naturally rest like this, and it being upside down rests a lot more naturally than if you think about how it'll hit this edge right here. So it's just a lot more comfortable. The playlist is not for me. I mean, it feels good, but these are I like I very much like a stiff typing feel. And this is not stiff because there's nothing helping it be stiff. I also like heavier springs, and these are not heavy springs. So let me turn the music off, do a quick sound, and then wrap her up. Where are we? And I'm just glad that this whole setup worked. I'm going to work on perfecting it in time for the Baka stuff. But sorry for that hand noise. But here is I would have my wife usually does the typing tests, but she is not at the moment here. So here's the typing test. Sound is awesome. It sounds phenomenal. Is it? The F-Row, yes. Everything else, pretty standard. The Escape sounds like a freaking typewriter. I would have too much fun just... And the arrow keys sound like that too. I'm curious to know here. Let me zoom in some. We're gonna do a little bit of a flex test. So it's flexy. So there are what? I think there were 12 mounting points, 5 on top, 5 on bottom, and 2 on the side. So it's flexible. When you're typing on a spring like this, because they're so light, I don't think it really matters that much. Hold on. My wife is on her way home. Thank you guys again. Hit the Discord. Send Doodlebob some love. She could use it today. Thank you, Osiris. So I think with heavier springs, you would notice that flex, but because these springs are so light, it's almost like, you know, I guess with lighter springs, you don't want to have to try as hard, right? So it's almost like if you're not typing that, you're not going to really feel that flex. But I think if you wind up, like if you're gaming and you do that, you might feel it some. But I would also, I also believe that Lucky Potatoes, thank you for the follow. But yeah, this bassy sound, like especially this escape key, I'm going to hold it up. Oof. That's the best key. So, but yeah, I'm going to take some better pictures. Like I said, lighting this, the whole reason I even switched my desk over is because I wanted to kind of reclaim my desk as more of a, I kind of wanted, let me switch back to this. I wanted to have my desk not have to, like I'm going to still stream our weekly episodes and stuff there, but I didn't want to have all my solder stuff at my desk always. So I threw it up there. I wanted to test this out. Still got a few kinks that I want to work out, but I think it worked overall. But yeah, so I want to say tomorrow, but it's not Tuesday. So tomorrow I'll make an announcement, but we've got Dixie Met coming on. Talk about some Black Friday experiences and the holidays and very, very, so many successful group buys. So be sure to check that out. Dixie's also a sponsor. You got like a day left for GMK Terra today or maybe tomorrow, but I think it's just today. To be real, you don't want to use vertical monitor anymore. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan, but honestly, a lot of it was I just didn't want. I didn't want all the other crap on my desk. But yeah, it's the next stream, the next build, the next non-interview stream will probably be the Baca stuff. I don't know when that is. We'll get back to you. Yeah, so Wednesday, 8 p.m. I'll make an announcement in the Discord. But yeah, Dixie Mac's going to be there. You can go to mexondeck.dixiemac.com. Pick up GMK Terra. It's awesome. Zap Cables. He makes some of the best cables in the world. Be sure to check him out. And then switchmod.net/mexondeck for 4% off lube and springs and all that other good stuff. So yeah, one more time. Here it is. That's probably the best. That's the most accurate depiction of what it looks like. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry for the mistakes, but we had a good time. And we will see you soon. Y'all have a good night.